Akin was a fisherman who lived in a small village on the coast of Nigeria. He loved the sea and spent most of his days on his boat casting his nets and catching fish. He was happy with his simple life, but he always felt lonely. He had no family or friends, and the other villagers avoided him because they thought he was strange. He often talked to himself and sang songs to the waves one day. As he was sailing back to the shore, he saw something shining in the water. He leaned over the edge of his boat and saw a beautiful woman with long black hair and a green tail. She was a mermaid, and she smiled at him with her bright eyes. Akin was stunned by her beauty and felt a surge of curiosity and attraction. He reached out his hand and said, "Hello, who are you?" The mermaid swam closer and touched his hand. She said, "I am Nala, and I live in the coral reef. I have been watching you for a long time, and I like your voice and your songs. You are different from the other humans. You are kind and gentle, and you respect the sea and its creatures. I want to be your friend." Akin felt a warm feeling in his chest and said, "I want to be your friend too. You are the most amazing thing I have ever seen. Can I see you again?" Nala nodded and said, "Yes, you can. I will come to this spot every day at sunset. But you must promise me one thing. You must never tell anyone about me. The other humans will not understand. They will try to hurt me or capture me. They are afraid of what they do not know." Akin agreed and said, "I promise I will keep you a secret. You are my treasure, and I will protect you." They smiled at each other in parted ways. Akin returned to his village, but he could not stop thinking about Nala. He counted the hours until he could see her again. He felt a new joy and excitement in his life. The next day he went back to the sea and met Nala. At the same spot they talked and laughed and sang together. They shared stories and secrets and dreams. They learned more about each other in their different worlds. They found that they had a lot in common, and they felt a strong connection. They became friends, and then they became lovers. They met every day for a month, and their love grew deeper and stronger. Akin wanted to spend more time with Nala, and he wished he could take her to his home. He asked her, "And Nala, will you marry me? Will you be my wife?" Nala was surprised and happy. She said, "Akin, I love you more than anything. I want to be with you forever. But how can we marry? We are from different worlds. You belong to the land and I belong to the sea. How can we live together?" Akin said, "We can find a way. We can build a house on the beach where we can see the sea and the sky. We can visit your reef and my village. We can have the best of both worlds. We can be happy." Nala thought for a moment and said, "Yes, you are right. We can make it work. We can be happy. I will marry you. I will be your wife." They hugged and kissed and celebrated their decision. They decided to get married the next day at sunrise. They did not need a ceremony or witness. They only needed each other and their love. The next morning they met at the beach and exchanged vows. They pledged their loyalty and devotion to each other. They put shells and flowers in their hair, and around their necks they kissed and sealed their marriage. They were happy. They moved into a small hut on the beach where they lived happily for a while. They enjoyed their days and nights together. They visited Nala's reef in Akin village. They made friends with the dolphins and the birds. They were happy, but their happiness did not last long. One day, a group of men from a nearby town came to the village. They were looking for fish and pearls, and they heard that the sea around the village was rich and abundant. They brought their boats and their nets and their spears. They did not care about the sea or its creatures. They only cared about money and power. They saw Akin and Nala on the beach, and they were shocked and curious. They had never seen a mermaid before, and they wanted to have her. They thought she was a rare and valuable creature, and they wanted to sell her or keep her as a trophy. They did not care about her feelings or her rights. They only cared about themselves. They attacked Akin and Nala, and they tried to capture her. Akin fought back, and he tried to protect her. He loved her more than his own life, and he would not let them take her away. He fought with all his strength, but he was outnumbered and outmatched. The men were too many and too strong. They overpowered him and knocked him down. They stabbed him with their spears and left him bleeding on the sand. They grabbed Nala and threw her into a cage. They laughed and cheered and sailed away. They took her away. Akin lay on the beach dying. He saw Nala in the cage crying. He heard her voice in his mind saying, "Rin, I love you, I love you, I love you." He felt her pain in her fear. He felt his own pain in his own fear. He felt his heart breaking. He said, "Nala, I love you, I love you, I love you." He closed his eyes and died. Nala was taken to the town where she was put on display. She was treated like an animal. Like a thing, she was stared at and poked and prodded. She was mocked and abused and tortured. She was miserable and hopeless. She missed kin in their home. She missed their love and their happiness. She wanted to die. She prayed to the sea and the sky, and she asked for a miracle. She asked for a chance to escape and to return to Ain. She asked for a chance to be with him again in this life or the next. The sea and the sky heard her prayer, and they felt sorry for her. They decided to grant her wish. They sent a storm to the town, and they caused a flood. They broke the cage and freed Nala. They carried her back to the sea where she belonged. Na swam back to the beach, where she found Akin's body. She cried and mourned and kissed him. She said to Kin, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." She wrapped her arms around him and held him tight. She said, "I love you, I love you, I love you." She wished she could bring him back to life. But she knew it was impossible. She wished she could join him in death. But she knew it was forbidden. She was a mermaid, and she could not die. She decided to do the only thing she could do. She decided to stay with him forever. She laid down next to him and closed her eyes. She stopped breathing and stopped moving. She stopped living. She became a statue, a stone the sea, and the sky saw what she did, and they were moved by her love and her sacrifice. They decided to honor her and to bless her. They covered her in a kim with sand and shells and flowers. They made them a grave among monument. They made them a legend, a story. They made them a symbol of love, a love that was stronger than life and death, a love that was stronger than land and sea, a love that was stronger than human and mermaid. They made them happy.